So mates, good evening and welcome back. So in this tutorial I want to show you how we can achieve this nice and neatly CHINOS Welt pocket. So if this sounds like what you want to learn, don't forget to watch the very end and like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel. So this is only done on CHINOS Welt back pocket, right? This is the type of welt pocket that is usually used for CHINOS fabrics. So without wasting much of your time, let's get down to the stitching process proper. Okay, so here we want to do pocket for our CHINOS material. I did not start from scratch, but then I feel this can still go a long way to help someone out there to master or learn how to do CHINOS pocket. So the lining is what I'm using to turn it up. The opening I created is at the point where I would have, did or done my welt pocket, and I made sure I, gum the edges just like this. Stitch it this way. Stitch it this way. This is only for CHINOS. Please don't do this on English trouser. Only for CHINOS. You cut out the lining. Cut out the lining, then give a notch at those edges. Cut out the lining, give a notch at those edges, just like this. Cut out the lining. Cut it out, give a notch at those edges. Cut out the lining. Then we are going to fling it inwards, just like this. After the flinging inwards, then you can stitch it nicely or give it a good press. But before you, just make sure the lining is not showing from the front. Then you top stitch the tip. You can decide to stitch it 2, 3 times, 4 times, depending. So at this point as well, you can still decide to use what's it called, fancy thread or a contrasting color to showcase the finishing you might have or the beauty you have created right there. So you stitch it all through to this very point. Top stitch just like this. And then once you have top stitched up to this point, cut your threads. This is how it looks like. So if you want to leave it at one threading, there's no problem. Then you bring your prepared flap. I have prepared the placket for this. Then place it in this form. So this is how you align. So while you're placing it as well, you have to give half an inch gap. The gap you will use to join your band. Place it this way. So you carefully arrange it properly like this. And then you stitch the second threading. So this second threading now, you must make sure it laps properly this way. So take your time, stitch up through to these very points. And stitch out through to these very points. Stitch out through to these very points. So this is what it looks like. So you double thread that line, double thread it, to give it that chinos effect. That's what it looks like. Cut of threads, and then cut out the excess placket. Just cut right there. Cut here as well. So now place your lining and arrange the pocket depths. Here you place a facing right there. Now this facing is important that you must arrange it. Just place it at the point where the pocket lining is being visible. Then you stitch the other end, fold the both ends this way. You sew to the very end. After which, place it this way, and then you fold this edge like this. You top stitch. So while getting to the point, you fold the other lining just like this, and then you sew just like this. You fold them. See how I'm folding mine? So carefully do this. Fold and top stitch to the very end. You stitch to the very end. Stitch and then top stitch right round. Top stitch right round. Top stitch right round. Fold there properly as well. You also top stitch. So this is how it starts, and fix your pockets. You trim the excess lining, trim it out. Then you bring, so this is the completion of the up parts of this chinos. It was shortened, right? So you add it up. So I know I did not show you guys the beginning on how everything was achieved, but then if you watch closely as well, you can still get to understand. I'm just trying to show you how to achieve such pockets. So you place this way, and then you now lock it. Arranging every property properly. You stitch for the very end to the very end. So you make sure that you don't seal the mouth of the pocket. You use your machine footer to gauge the part where you're going to sew from, right? So I'm stitching very close to that point, but not to shorten or seal the mouth. So stitch all through this way. Stitch all to the very end. So you weave that part and then you top stitch. So this is what we achieved. This is what we achieved. You can see what it looks like. So you're gonna give it a good press, and then this is how to achieve this. So measure and cross check what you have removed, which is 3 inches. Then 3.5 was removed. It was added on the length when we were trying to draft it out. So here you cut out the excesses, then trim out all the threads, cut it out this way, cut it out this way. You top stitch at the tip. You make sure you top stitch at the very tip of it. Top stitch at the tip. So you double thread it again. Top stitch at the tip that row. So this is how it is. All right.